So if you think about Bitcoin digital currency, it's really the transfer of the ownership of assets digitally without a bank or other third party. And so the MIT Digital Currency Initiative was started just 9 or 10 weeks ago. It's very new. But there's 3 main areas that we want to work on. One is research. We want to look at the security, the stability, the scalability of this platform. We have some of the top professors in the world who, like Ron Rivest, who was the R in RSA. We've got some of the top economists, like Simon Johnson, who's a former chief economist of the International Monetary Fund. So you not only hear from the people who are excited about Bitcoin, but you hear from some of the top researchers in cryptography and economics to look at these issues. We'll also be looking at social impact. There's a huge opportunity, as the previous speakers have talked about, for financial inclusion, but for other opportunities as well that I'll get into in a minute. And lastly, we need more people in Bitcoin. We don't just need the original Bitcoiners, we need more diversity. If this is truly going to have the impact that is projected onto it, we need to make sure that the people that are working on this represent the diversity of the UK, the US, and the diversity of the world. So we'll be working on that as well. Or financial inclusion. I was talking to a government who delivers social welfare. They deliver social welfare, and how they distribute it is actually in physical cash. Because a large percentage of the population, 25% of the population who receives this cash, they don't live within 20 miles of an ATM. And so they actually put the cash in. They actually sometimes even put it in a canoe. And they get it out there, but it's not just one canoe, it's 2 canoes, because the insurance company that insures the delivery of this money says that there can only be a certain amount of money that's being delivered in each of the canoes. And so what happens is they end up spending more money on the delivery of the cash than the cash that's delivered, right? And that's why people get excited about mobile money. But what happens is, we had a question earlier that said, well, how do we get people involved? Well, what happens when 25% of the country moves to mobile money, or what happens when they move to Bitcoin? Then all of a sudden, all of the entrepreneurs in this audience can start to build out the financial services for the people who haven't had access to that before. And so what we're seeing is, like the internet, with 2.9 billion people online every day, sending emails, sending text messages, sending instant messages, we've seen communication exponentially increase. And what we're going to see with Bitcoin is that because it's this open interoperable platform as well, you'll see transactions exponentially increase, because you'll no longer need intermediaries, and we can start to do it one-on-one. A few months ago, I was in Iraq. Giving a technical workshop, and at the end I decided to say, well, why not? Why don't I just give a little quick impromptu workshop on Bitcoin? Kind of see what the reaction was. Thought maybe 5 people would show up. As you can see in the picture, more than 30 people showed up to learn about Bitcoin. These aren't people with strong technical backgrounds, but they instantly started downloading wallets. I gave them a few dollars here and there. They instantly started sending money back and forth to each other. And they instantly came up with ideas that I never could have imagined. I think what's going to be exciting is we're going to see a lot of the innovations that come along in Bitcoin, not from the UK and the US, but from developing nations where the financial infrastructure isn't as strong. And this comes out of a deep need. And so we're excited to help promote this, help support the community, help do the research that's needed as this nascent emerging technology starts to grow. And we're excited to work with you and start to address some of these social impact challenges as well.